Welcome to the Whitetail Legacy Podcast.
Tomorrow is opening day.
This morning, didn't have a great hunt. Deer didn't move like usual.
We just got set up in the middle of this bedding thicket. We've been saving this spot from the rut. It's a nice, I think it's a nice buck.
Boom! Hits a 170.
That was money. I think he's down right over there, maybe 10 yards.
Whitetail Legacy Podcast, bringing you back to the hunt and leaving a legacy.
Baller rut.
All right, guys, welcome to the Whitetail Legacy Podcast, coming at you from Louisiana in the bayou. We're talking, what was that boat called?
A P-Raw.
A P-Raw. You're going to learn what a P-Raw is in this episode and a whole bunch of other nicknames. But we had Justin Landry on, just an absolute badass dude from down south Louisiana hunting the swamps, man. Check his Instagram out, Little Hank. He's dragging these bucks out of knee-deep water, hunting oak ridges and in the swamp, packing in stands and saddles and a boat, and he's digging his way in with his boat. Like, he's digging a trough to get his boat in there. It's just insane. So we had a lot of fun this episode, and you guys are going to enjoy it. So one little quick shout-out for you guys. Hit that subscribe button. Pause this. Hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening. That gives you a notification of when we put out an episode. If you're wondering, we put it out on Prime Rib Day. That's Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Time every Wednesday. We haven't missed a Wednesday yet. Homie's stat on the scheduling of the post on Wednesday. Let's get into the people that make this possible. Let's get out with the VIP veteran broadhead. We talk about the combat veteran a lot, but, hey, the veteran broadhead is still out there.
Yeah.
We used a veteran earlier this year before we got the chance to shoot the combat veteran. I put down a doe, didn't make it very far. Really sad that I haven't got to shoot my bow at a buck again this year. So it's been a brutal year, but next year hope to change that up. Right now, you going veteran or combat veteran?
Combat veteran.
I'm going combat veteran too.
Dude, that thing
It's
is so sick.
So it's hard to compete, but I like four blades anyways. So it's just right up my alley. But
yeah,
you got the VIP veteran broadhead shout out.
Yeah, this week's shout out is Hank Giles, and he was in the Air Force for 12 years. And he said he had a bunch of missions that he was assigned to do and some specialized training. So, Hank, we appreciate your service, everybody here at Whitetail Legacy and the VIP family.
Yep. Thank you, Hank. I know whatever you had to do, missions weren't easy. Away from your family wasn't easy, so we appreciate that, your time spent doing your duty for this nation. Thank you for my family and the Whitetail Legacy Podcast crew. Excuse me. Let's get into ECW. Gonna be rocking the double side turkey calls before we know it. We got one laying here on the table.
Yeah.
That's just begging to get scratched up. I just keep moving around. It's on the left side of the table, right side of the table, but we're going to be breaking them out soon. You can get those at Gander Outdoors, guys, or you can get them at ECW in Roseville or on the website. Double-sided, triple-sided, you can get glass, slate, copper, whatever you want. I like the glass slate combo. That slate purrs real good, so I really like that. Let's get into Ingram's Outdoor Obsession. All your taxidermy needs, from Europeans to ducks to antelope to bear. A couple full-body bears in there he's working on. I just really want a bear skull. Like, I could deal without a full body. I just really want to, and I really want an alligator skull. We talk about alligators in this.
Ooh,
Jake Rask has an alligator skull, open European.
Oh.
So cool, dude. Big giant one.
Does it have it, like, coming off the wall?
No, he just, like, has it sitting on a table.
Oh.
A big open one. It's pretty sweet.
Probably wouldn't be able to shoot him in the head then.
Oh, yeah.
If you want that.
Yeah, I don't think it would mess it up that bad.
Yeah, that's where I shot it.
Yeah, that's where I shot it right there. But, yeah, this guy killing whitetail, slaying fish, catching crawfish, killing big gators, hogs. He's doing it all. So, scent lock, all your camo and ozone scent elimination needs. Let's get into the show. All right, we got Justin Landry on, man. How you doing down there in the swamps?
Pretty good, man. Holding tight, man.
Heck yeah, man. You showed me the little shed that you're hanging out in tonight, or your garage, whatever you got going on. Looks like you got a good deer cleaning, fish cleaning, everything little station over there.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah,
sweet.
my little man cave, man. I got a stove in here and sink and just, put my Euro mounts up and a couple of shoulder mounts I got up in the shed. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet little corner you got there. Be a good place to crack a cold one and tell some swamp stories.
Yeah, the wife wonders why I never want to go inside. But,
you just feel more at home out there. It's hard. So
that's it. That's it.
Yeah, like I said, we appreciate you coming on, and we're gonna talk all thing Louisiana swamp hunting. We are Illinois Flatlander crop ground, so we're excited for this episode. We know literally zero. We know nothing about what you do other than, just for the listeners, I just seen you on Instagram, and I was like, this is a guy that I want to talk to. He's having a blast out there hunting, celebrating with people, killing bucks, in just the most weird ways. I don't even know how you track them out there, man. I got so many questions in my brain.
The boat, bro.
You know what I mean? like they better drop quick because you're tracking through water.
That's the main thing. That's the main thing. You want to get a good hit on them for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Out there.
But go ahead and give the listeners just a little brief introduction of who you are.
Well, like say, name's Justin Landry. Been hunting down here in Louisiana for as long as I could walk. My dad used to take me on his back in the swamp. So we about 50 miles south of Baton Rouge, hunting several thousand acres out of here, close to the Chapelaya Basin. But yeah, man, just been hunting the swamp since I could walk, basically. My dad took me in there.
Man, piggybacking through the swamp, that'd be tough.
Yeah.
You guys got some calf muscles out of this world.
But started off a lot of dog hunting down here. It's a big thing, and it's kind of selling out. I mean, a lot of people are getting less with the dog. Landowners, are getting pretty strict on it. So it's kind of like I don't want to say it's phasing out, but it's it's getting that way where it's limited where you could dog hunt down here now. So we 2014, I started a lot of still hunting, basically still hunting, stalking.
Yeah,
in the swamp. So.
I've seen that's what you guys are normally doing, and that's pretty epic, man. And so, just so the listeners can kind of get a feel, just kind of describe the ground. Like I seen it on Instagram, but I kind of know, but kind of describe the ground that you're hunting, so they kind of know.
Basically, you can look it up. All the swamp down here in 1920 was logged, so it's basically kind of Tupelo, cypress. And there's some ridges in there, some oak ridges of what we're hunting. And that's kind of where I focus my hunting at, was along the oak ridges and the bigger cypress ridges. But there's a couple canals that go through the lease that we're on, and some levees, that we kind of put cameras on and kind of see what's out there. But it's mostly at any given time you could have a foot of water pretty much over the whole thing. You could have no water on the whole thing. It depends on kind of the rainfall throughout the year, basically.
Yeah, and it seems like it's incredibly thick, mossy.
It's real thick palmettos. Some areas are so thick it's like, man, it's you could see 20 yards in there. That's about it. But other areas you could walk in there, like in the Tupelo area, you could see 500 yards in there. It's nothing to see.
Wow.
Some deer walking through there, and it's amazing the way these deer could just go through there like it's nothing. We might take 500 yards might take us 30 minutes, just to track across, but deer get through there pretty quick.
Yeah. So when these deer are moving, is that what they're moving? They're moving to those oak flats, or they're bedding on them ridges?
I've seen them, just since I've been still hunting, you see them out there in the middle of nowhere, and they'll get up, they'll be laying next to some Tupelo, some cypress, or they'll get on an old log or something like that, and they'll get up and they'll feed about 100 yards or whatnot, and then go right back to bedding. It's just Depending on the pressure, like right now, there's a lot of pressure, so they tend to be way up in that swamp right now, kind of off of the oak ridges.
How hard
So,
was it to go from, spot and stalk, or I guess if you want to call it that, to going to still hunting? Because I hear about a lot of guys, a lot of Midwest guys that go out west and spot and stalk mule deer, go on an elk hunt, and then, they're up and moving, chasing the animals, doing a lot of glassing and stuff. And then they're just like, man, that's pretty cool, and then they come back here and then they got to just sit in a tree to hunt whitetail.
It was, it was kind of hard, it was more like a challenge for me because, I remember some guy told me, he was like, man, what are you doing? You still hunting that stuff? And, he's like, with dogs, we were so used to hunting with dogs and these deer getting pushed to a stand row or something like that. It was hard for, for people to think, you could go out there and actually still hunt these whitetail. But, I mean, it's possible, it just takes a lot of work. You got to get way back there. You got to basically, I watched the wind, got a few stand locations I got picked out back there, and that's kind of how I go about it,
Yeah, doing the best you can. I mean, it's easy for us because there's kind of like pinch points, and there's area there isn't really timber.
Right.
For you, when I look at that shit, I'm like, a deer could go that way. I have no idea what the hell these deer are doing. They could just be wandering around back here eating on this little tree,
The thing that helped me was I walked pretty much all that stuff, and every time I would jump a deer, I would mark it on my GPS or my iPhone, and then I'll go back, later on, and I'll end up, just setting up a couple 100 yards before where I jumped deer at, and then I would end up seeing deer, and that kind of pumped me up.
Yeah, that's a good idea,
getting
man.
me more out there.
If you jump them, then you're there for some reason.
Exactly. And, year after year, they're in the same locations. They're in the same spots, these deer. So it's, learning something every year. Every year I get in, a little something more to put in my my arsenal for them,
Yeah.
But,
how big is the piece of property that you're hunting?
It's probably I'm in 2 clubs there, so I'm probably over 7,000 acres, I would say.
Nice. Yeah, I mean,
Right
you can put some boots on the ground. 7,000 acres of swamp. Here we go.
Like 7,000 acres of swamp. A lot of people say, man, that's a lot of land, but it's not.
There ain't no land. It's all water.
Yeah, it's all water. You're not gonna hunt. You're not gonna hunt the whole 7,000.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's probably like more or less like 1,000 acres where you could actually get in there and do some, you could kind of figure out routes in there, different winds, and put you a couple stands out, basically. Yeah. So
I seen some stories on there of your access. I kind of wanted to go on that. I think that's super cool how you guys are getting back in there, and just kind of go into that a little bit.
You talking about the P-Rog and all that?
Yeah.
But basically, I'm hunting about a mile in this old little bayou, and there's oak flats on both sides of it, and I walk in probably about 3/4 of a mile, and then I P-Rog the rest to a little stand location I have back there, and I'm just catching them, man. I mean, it's a good spot. I've been on that spot for about 5 years, and it's just a hot spot, man. Every year during the rut, they come through there looking for does. The bucks are looking for does through there, so it's definitely pretty cool back there. But I do the P-Rog.
So just so homies over here looking at me like, so explain what the P-Log is. I've seen your stories and heard you talk about it.
P-Rog, so basically like a canoe. We just call it a P-Rog, but
it's like a wooden.
It's a little flat. Yeah, it's a little flatter.
The tiniest canoe I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. It's got like 6-inch sides on it.
And I'm gonna tell you, the one you saw on there, that thing is probably 40 years old. It's older than me for sure. My dad's been having it. Nice. It's a little fiberglass one, and it's been in the family for a long time. So it's cool to throw some deer in it, man. Every time I throw a deer in it, it's this accomplishment, for me. So it's just pretty cool, man. Everybody likes P-Rog pictures too. So
Yeah, yeah. P-Rod pitches, for some reason, people love that stuff. I don't know why, but a buck in a boat just people love that
boat,
shit.
man. You know, it's saying you went way back there and get them. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Say
definitely-
wait, yeah. If you say you went way back and you put it in a boat, that's gold, man. That is
Yeah.
gold.
But,
Yeah.
But I kind of, I got a bunch of cousins that hunt, and that's the way they hunted for years and years and years. They would go in the swamp with some pitchforks and some rakes, and you just make you like a ditch in there, and they would have the P-Rog, You go down your P-Rog ditch and set your stand up about 100, 200 yards off the Oak Ridge, and sure enough, you catch them, walking kind of along the Oak Ridge, but about 200 yards in the swamp, and killing some nice bucks,
Yeah, that's pretty epic, man. I've been,
Yeah.
down. I don't like the class of deer down there. For me, it can't get that big because I don't know what they're eating out there.
No.
You know what I mean? It just
we got some big ones. We'll see some really nice ones on camera, and it's just, man, they'll eventually, somebody will get them, but
it'd be
it's like,
hard
man,
to sneak in on them, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're so
sloshing
slick,
through the
man.
mud and
they're so your P-Rog's your best bet, and just playing the wind right,
yeah.
basically for them.
So you're hunting off the Oak Ridges, and they're coming out of the swamp, going to them Oak Ridges as you're
Coming to the Oak Ridges, coming to the highland. There's a lot of cypress ridges. So the cypress ridges are basically it's not really flooded. You have some spots that'll be just mud, but they love that too. They'll come on there and they'll feed on some grass and some python, and we call it python. It's like some it's almost look like Johnson grass growing in a swamp, basically.
Y'all got a nickname for everything down there.
Yeah, man.
oh yeah.
I could throw out some names out there, man. But it's cool area. It's just I've been hunting it so long, and got to know it real good, and that's basically what it takes. I feel for anything, either you're hunting public land or whatnot, as long as you know the area and you kind of know where the deer are passing and where they're holding, you could get on some good deer.
So with them
Basic.
deer coming to them Oak Flats, are your evening hunts produce more than your morning hunts?
I do. Every buck I've killed back there, except for one still hunting, has been in the evening. I've killed one in the morning, and I really think that one was due to the rut. I had put some Evercalm out. It wasn't the VS1, it was just a regular Evercalm.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of came in, and I believe he came in for that, and that was in the morning. But the rest of them was all in the evening, basically.
The rut,
And,
the rut just blows my mind out there. The does are like 50, 60 pounds. It looks like. How big is a big doe? Like
a
about
big
50.
doe's 100 pounds. You kill 120 pound doe, you kill like you
Like a
you basically kill. Oh
behemoth.
yeah, you killed a monster doe. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm on the pictures. I'm like, man, that's and then you got these bucks just sloshing through the stuff, chasing them. It's
man.
it's incredible, man. Because we're like,
man.
it's so like different than what we're used to, and like you said, you become accustomed to it. But
Yeah.
for me, it's so neat that those deer can survive out there, and that you go in there and hunt them. And you're putting the work in. You're waking up early. You're canoeing in. You're digging a trough to get your canoe in. Like,
Yeah, it's tough, man. You tell a lot of people what you do to kind of get these deer, and they're like, man,
yeah, but man, it's just same thing.
it's
Us,
just-
we're planting food
Yeah.
plots and doing everything we can to try to get it done. But there ain't no food plots out there, man. It's like
no, it's
you just gotta catch them.
we'll put it's illegal to feed in Louisiana, so we could put a little feed out, and I'll put some feed out with a camera. But what I find is the deer, they're not coming to the feed during the day. You might catch them here and there, but what it is, they're feeding in the swamp, and they're coming to that ridge at night, and they're gonna feed. So having more luck setting up away from the feed, 100 yards, 200 yards, catching these deer coming in, maybe making a loop around, trying to get some, checking the wind or whatnot, and that's how basically I'm setting up.
Yeah, it looks like you've been killing a lot of bucks down there, and we
Yeah,
got
man.
we got a buddy that lives in Mississippi, you know, and he hunts more ag and flat ground. I don't think he gets down there in the bayou, but I've always been drawn to that area. I work down there. I absolutely love crawfish. I pretty much love any
cool, man.
food, but crawfish, dude, I
Yeah.
will smash some crawfish, man. But like, I mean, just getting back in there in the swamps, it's like a different world. Like, even with us going in the woods, there's a house, you know, you can see a house, or you're close to a house, or close to a road.
Yeah.
You go back in there ain't shit, man.
No,
like,
there's
if you get in
nothing, man.
trouble, or, I mean, you were showing me
Yeah.
video, there's freaking cottonmouths everywhere and stuff.
yeah.
I mean,
And a lot of the places is one way in, one way out. I mean, you're not going to come from the west. You're not going to come from the east. You know, you're going to come from the south. I mean, that's your only way in. So that's the wind plays a big deal. And since I've been still hunting them, I find that's my biggest, I guess, the lesson I learned, you know, is to play the wind right to really trick them out. So
yeah, I could see someone that went from used to dogs where you probably not playing the wind at all, and then you're going to still hunt, and you're probably
you're
like,
just
man,
going
I
in there.
gotta completely rechange the game. But I could see, I mean, you could only see 20 yards, and you got the wind blowing in there. There ain't a chance you're seeing anything. You know what I mean?
No. But when I started off, I hunted a lot of ladders and saw a lot of deer. So I decided to, I had one little spot. I built a box stand, and it was about 200 yards off a canal onto an oak ridge. I had it on the oak ridge, and I started still hunting that pretty hard, and I killed a buck out of there. And then after that, I kind of ventured off to the lock-ons, which I was bow hunting out of lock-ons, but during the rut and everything, I would really just hunt either box stands or ladder stands. And then I got me a saddle, and I started hunting out the saddle. I've killed 2 out the saddle, but I wasn't even in the tree. So that goes to show you, I had the saddle around my waist trying to get in the tree, and they come right up on me, and it's like, man, you can't really beat that. So I ain't complaining. But.
Yeah, no, I can see a saddle working good out there, because, man, you're walking through that mud and shit. I couldn't imagine carrying a stand in.
That's the main thing, it's just the mud, and you got everything on your back. You try not to get muddy, because once you get muddy, your hands get muddy. It's like, it makes it a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Trying to draw your bow back, shoot your release, your hands are all muddy and shit. But
definitely.
Yeah, I could see that working out good. And then you got, I mean, those cypress trees and stuff, you could probably get up in quite a bit of those.
Oh, yeah.
Got some good cover and make it happen.
I find I've killed deer in November, but December, around the 2 weeks around the Christmas, is it's on. It's really the rut's here. Now we got like a spotty rut after that, but the main rut where you see a lot of chase and a lot of bigger deer is kind of like your late December, around Christmas.
That's cool, man, because up here it's pretty much cashed out by then. You know what I mean?
That's what it's like November up there, huh?
Yeah. November it's ready to roll. So yeah, it's just crazy. So what during the rut? What's like the normal temps down there in the swamps? Is there mosquitoes like all year round?
Oh yeah, pretty much. I mean, we could have a freeze. This is crazy, man. You could have a freeze on a Wednesday. Friday it's 80 degrees. And you got mosquitoes.
Oh god, man, freaking mosquitoes would drive me nuts. Yeah. Oh god, I'd be like 6 thermocells deep on that.
Yeah.
But every year I find if a cool front comes in or a cold front comes in, and it gets real cold, your best bet is to get out there and hunt until it gets hot again. Because once it gets hot again, you'll see that deer. You'll see deer movement start to drop off.
Yeah. Same thing here, good cold front gets them up moving, and a cold front there, from 80 to 50, it's probably pretty good drop, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. It's that the humidity down here, man, makes it feel even colder. It's like a wet, cold type.
Yeah, when I worked down there, it was like January, and it was like 70. I'm like, shit, this shit is crazy. I'm out here sweating like crazy. I can imagine the summer. I was in where the hell was I? I can't remember. I was way down south. We'll keep talking deer hunting. It'll come back to me in a minute.
You know what would be
But,
really epic? Like a doe's running through the swamp, sloshing the water. She's got like a 2.5-year-old chasing her, and then you got a 4.5-year-old. Like, that just sounds like a hippo coming. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they got to
man,
make a lot of noise.
Yeah. Actually, the last one I killed, I hunted the Wednesday before, and that's why I went back. It was a field day in there, man. They were running around in there. It definitely get your heart pumping. You don't know what's going on, man. All you hear is splashing and running, and it's just a cool experience, to see them do that. But that's the whole feeling too. Growing up dog hunting, you would hear them coming before you would see them, and that's when the shakes would start to get in.
Yeah,
because you didn't know what to expect. It was a big buck, it was a doe or whatnot, and that's basically how it is down there, man. They run wild. I mean, it's cool. It's just I can't say enough about it.
I was in is it Homa? Is that how you say it?
Homa? Yeah.
I was in
right.
Homa down
probably
there.
About I'd say about 20 miles from where I'm at.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's real swampy down there. I worked on
mostly marsh and all that stuff.
Yeah, I worked on the railroad, so we were going from there up through like I want to say Gray. Is it Gray or something
Gray?
up north?
Yep.
Yeah, that's got to be close to you. So
Gray's
that's
like 6 miles, 7 miles.
Yeah, we would be sitting on the side of the tracks. There'd be people putting that time of the year must be like crawfish money, right? Like January, February.
January, February, they're starting to get they're fishing a lot of ponds, and they'll fish the spillway a little bit, but then you get into when it gets March, April, May is when it's really popping.
It must have been February, and we had there was a lot of people out there putting nets out and stuff. I'm like, wouldn't that be so sick just to be able to put a net out and just catch your supper, like
Yeah, man. And then that's how it is on the leash. We could put a couple nets out and catch us a sack or two.
Man, that's sweet. You set a couple of nets, catch a couple sacks, go in there.
Yeah,
and that's
go in there, cook them up, ball them up.
Heck yeah. I remember when I was there, they were like, "How hot you want them?" I'm like, "I want them hot, but I don't want them like melt your face hot." You know what I mean?
You don't want them to burn your lips.
Because he said, "How hot you want them?" I said, "I'll take them pretty hot," and I was like, "Holy shit, I can't even eat these." You guys like it hot down there?
I want a Midwestern hot.
But
Midwestern. Huh?
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, I'll take them hot," and I was like, ever since then, I'm like, "I'll take them kind of hot." But yeah, first time I was down there, they brought that bowl out, just poured it on the table. I was like, hell yeah, I can get into this. This is.
So for most of for most of the hunters down there, is it more of like you see a buck and you're shooting at it, or do you guys try to practice any QDMA or?
Yeah, we I mean, for a lot of people, I got a bunch of buddies and whatnot, and not everyone sees a rack deer every year. You might see a spike or something like that, and spike's illegal in Louisiana. They'll take it, but a lot of hunters, they'll pass on the spikes. I got a couple 4 points, 6 points on camera. We just try to shoot, a rack deer. Basically, is kind of the managing we do on a lease, because it's like 3 or 4 leases all boarding together. They cross the lease, they'll get killed or whatnot. So
yeah,
we kind of.
It's crazy to think this the difference of the different area, but down there, I mean, I could see like an 8-point. It's like, damn, you shot an 8-point.
Yeah, right.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's pretty sweet, because that's how it used to be when I grew up. Like, you didn't ask what it scored or whatever. You're like, you shot a 10-point this year? That's sick. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's the same way down there,
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, scoring a deer, I really never got, I never really got into that until, it was 2010. When I really started, I bought a nice bow and I started bow hunting and really got into it hard. And that's when, scoring a deer, and I started learning about scoring a deer and whatnot. And it's just that we grew up, we went hunting to shoot deer, basically.
Yeah. You went hunting to get some meat.
Yeah. And when we do our dog drives, it'd be say 15 people on a little dog drive, and we shoot 2-3 deer. We all split it. We'll quarter it up, cut it up, and everyone got a little pile of meat.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
You know,
Pretty
so
badass.
even if you didn't shoot a deer that year, you know, you still got some meat. So,
Yeah. I think it's super cool. Like I love shooting giant deer, but I wish I could go back and hunt, you know, back there when you could just go on
Oh, yeah.
anybody's property and you did drives
Oh,
and
yeah.
you just, you know, just had
it was
fun,
like
man.
a community effort back in the day. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, like
My
you see all
dad,
them. Go ahead.
what was that? No, I said my dad really joined the club for duck hunting in the 70s. The ducks were the swamp was pretty much open water. Now it's kind of like a matted grass. But these ducks, you know, it was nothing to go kill greenheads galore back there. You know, it was just that's where he bought. He had a little airboat and everything like that, and kind of got into it for the duck hunting, and then ducks slacked off, and then we started deer hunting basically.
I was just gonna say, you know, you see them great pictures, and there's like 12 bucks hanging from,
Yeah.
you know, head to
Yeah.
toe, and like you just don't like nobody does that anymore. You know,
Yeah.
It's-
Actually, I got some like that of the old guys in the club, you know, pictures dating back from 1950s with deer just hanging, and a couple of guys barefooted, no boots, no nothing.
Damn.
Just yeah, man. I'm gonna try to upload it one day on Instagram.
Yeah,
man.
that'd be
It's
pretty
just
sweet.
a cool picture. You know, they're holding a couple deer dogs, and they got a couple deer hanging in the background.
that mud probably
It's
feels
pretty
pretty
cool.
good on a bare foot.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Frig,
But you know, like
I'd-
the swamp was a lot higher back then. You know, we're kind of sinking down here, so it's a little the water table's a little coming up. You know what I'm saying? It's getting high,
yeah.
but
Yeah, I know when I was down there, it was, I think so I can't remember what year, but I know that everybody was saying that there's a lot of water. It was like real high and
I think it'd have been 16 when you were down there.
16. Everywhere I went, people were like, yeah, man, the water's getting up there. And then you could tell like where people were actually going out like into the main waters at the boat ramps and stuff were
Oh, yeah.
underwater. So, but
definitely. But you know, high water season for me, the way I hunt it, so actually a little better. I could get way back in there with a P-Rod rather than just staying in the bayous and the natural little cuts and sloughs. You know, I could get off way up in that cypress and set up. So it's pretty cool. You know, I like a mixture of a high water one season, you know, low water the next. Just
yeah,
take it out.
switches
take
it
ideas,
up, man. It's
basically.
pretty cool
Yeah,
that you could be
switches it
hunting the
up,
same
you know.
ground, but the deer are doing completely different stuff. And
Complete. And then you know, you got a lot of high water, you get more deer on the property because it'll push them in from the deeper swamp. You know, they'll come in closer to that oak ridge. So it's pretty nice, man.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So what do you guys, so you're hunting in a club, is all those stories on you, is that after at the club you guys are all together?
Yeah, we
eating?
just had the camp, you know, basically on the weekends we'll do a little dog drive still. We'll go out Saturday morning, make a little hunt, come back, you know, there's somebody always cooking.
Yeah, I love that,
we're always
man.
cooking something. They always
yeah.
got different things cooking. Got a little card game going. You know, it's just a good little gathering we do every year.
Yeah, I love
And
that,
we
man.
just do it. Basically, we just do it during the hunting season. You know, it's just a hunting season months. We got a little camp back there, and we all gather.
Yeah, that's one thing I would say when I was down there, man. I'm from the Midwest, and the people were just so nice, you know, and I'd ask a question and they'd answer it, and you could just tell that they were good people. And just like your stories, man, I'd be like, man, I just want to be there, eat some of that fish they're frying up,
Oh yeah, man.
and go and shoot one of these 60-pound does. And
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, look,
and-
hey, you'd be surprised how hard it is to pull a 60-pound doe out of that.
oh, I couldn't
I mean,
imagine,
Oh, yeah.
man. Do that. Remember when we had to drag your doe across a muddy cornfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, just times
Oh,
that by
yeah.
about 10. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
That's
throw a
it,
foot of
man.
water on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're knee deep in slop, and you're trying to just tug it along as you go. So,
I guess good thing it's
yeah.
60 pounds at that
yeah,
point.
yeah. So,
but yeah, man, this is just a great place to hunt. And like I say, I mean, if people want to get out there in the swamp, there's right above where we hunt as the M Hall, the state land. You know, so it's a wildlife management area, and people kill some nice bucks out of there. Very nice. And they're basically hunting the same way I'm hunting. Pirogues, getting there with the boats. They're doing a little kind of walking around. Basically, got some pipelines, and pipelines are big down here too. I mean, you got a pipeline everywhere you look down here. So a lot of people set up on these pipelines, and you can see 400, 500 yards. You know.
Yeah, I think Justin had some pipeline cuts, stuff like that.
I know he's got that one pole line.
Yeah, on his dad's lease. I think there's some pipeline cuts, but I seen there on your story when you're hunting these deer, is the water deep enough for gators in there or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Dang.
I'm out on that.
Yeah. Actually, my buddy that hunts with me, on his spot, he actually got a gator underneath his feeder. This
On
year.
the trail cam.
On the trail cam, yeah. And it was a pretty decent sized gator. I mean, it was definitely over 6 foot.
That is so solid. Be like, what'd you get on your trail cam pool? A couple gators, man.
Yeah, a couple gators, yeah, man. That's crazy.
A couple gators. I got the 60-incher though.
Yeah.
Baby. I'm jacked.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I showed that to one guy, and he was like, "Oh hell no."
Yeah,
oh, hell no.
yeah, I'd be out.
There, you know?
I'm gonna go in there in that little bitty ass boat. But yeah, man, it looked like you killed a. I just for some reason I want to kill a gator. I don't know why. I'm gonna make that happen eventually.
Yeah.
But
Well, the cool thing about Louisiana, we used to get tags with the lease and everything, but the price of the gator went down, so the landowner didn't want to mess with it anymore. So I applied with the state of Louisiana for the actually M Hall WMA gator tags lottery, and I got the lottery, and I ended up getting 3 tags.
nice.
So that was pretty cool. That big one I killed was on M Hall, and me and my dad had a blast, man. Definitely glad I got it on film. You know, that's something to cherish.
Yeah, well, it was like a little over 6 foot, right? 6.5 or 7.
Well,
or
that
something?
one, no, it was the big one I had was 10.5.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes!
Yeah, 10.5.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a video of that one on my page, and
Nice.
but I killed a 6.5, and I think 8 or 9. I have to
Wow.
look back.
Man,
Yeah.
6 would be big enough for me. That thing.
Yeah.
I know, but yeah, I mean, I seen your story and you're in that water. I'm like, there's water moccasins in that for sure. I've already seen videos of that. There's probably gators in here. I'm like, I don't even know how these deer are surviving for one, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. As long as I've been walking there, though, I never came up on an alligator during the deer season. I never came up on one in the swamp.
Nice.
I came up on some out in the canal or whatnot, but never in the swamp itself. So
Yeah. Probably a little colder weather. They're probably out in a little bit bigger water.
They'll go and bury themselves or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'd have to tell myself to go back in there. It's too cold for gators today. I go back in there. Snakes are gonna be moving slow. I got a shot, so I'll go in there.
But snakes are horrible. Yeah, you get a hot day in December, foggy, hot. I mean, they're gonna be out, man, and they're gonna be striking at anything too, for sure. They get like this little film over their eyes during the winter, and I mean, you step over them, they're not moving. I mean, you know, they're not gonna move for you. Either you're gonna step on them or step right over them. They're gonna strike you. But dog got hit one time back there. I was actually picking up my pirogue and putting it in the boat. One was in a branch, fell in the boat, and bit my dog on the face.
Oh wow!
And she swole up. It was a little rat terrier I had, and she swole up, but she made it. I mean, it was kind of like, you know, you see what is like Duck Commander or whatever. You know, they got them little rat terriers and they get bit all the time.
Yeah.
And it's basically the same thing. You know, that's why I was like, oh, she would be all right.
She's strong. She good.
Yeah, she toted it. Yep.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. But yeah, man, like you said, sportsman's paradise. You guys are out there. You're cooking all the time, catching fish, gators.
Yeah, man,
it's deer. I mean, it's pretty
it's
epic.
just, you know, I tell everybody, you know, the squirrels, the rabbits, you know, you could go out there, you shoot your limit of squirrels like nothing, you know. We got a lot of rabbits on the levees. It's just all around just good fun, you know.
Yeah.
Getting out there and doing some good hunting.
You have any
And,
pigs in your area?
No pigs on where I'm hunting, but on the south of Thibodeau, there's a lot of pigs in that area. Kind of populated real fast in that area. Had a trap out one time. We caught a few of them. I think I killed like 6. I wouldn't say piglets, but just right. Kind of 40-pound, 60-pound range.
Nice.
But yeah, man, cool. It's definitely something to see down here, man. You get to come hunting down here for sure. You'd be amazed.
Yeah.
We need to find a gator pig combo.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got them somewhere, man.
Yeah. What do you call bluegill down there? You got a nickname for
Bluegill,
them?
we call them either brim.
Brim. Yeah. Okay.
Brim, perch.
Perch. Yeah. Looks like you guys are smashing those too, man. I love bluegill. That's about my favorite eating fish. So.
There's like the red ear.
Yeah, those are the bigger bluegill.
Yeah, we call those chickapin.
Chickapin. I'm gonna catch a red ear up here, and be like, got a nice chickapin. No one's gonna know what the hell I'm talking about.
You go down there and you catch you a mess of chickapin, you did something. Sure, you come back to the boat launch. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, the sockeye is really about to take off right now. It's our spawn coming up here, and they're gonna be getting on the stumps, laying, and we usually do good with that back up on the lease. So everybody goes deer hunting in the morning, and they bring their fishing poles, and then after they come eat a little lunch, and then boom, they're going fishing.
Everybody just making a whole day out of it.
Oh yeah.
I bet y'all are eating good too.
Oh yeah.
While you're out deer hunting.
We eating good, you said?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. We do like I say, we cook stews, we go down there like a Friday or a Saturday, we'll cook a big stew, gumbos.
I love gumbo, man. Gumbo is right up my alley.
Yeah, man. We like a seafood gumbo.
Oh yeah.
Or we'll do the chicken and sausage chicken.
I'll pretty much eat anything out of the water besides a snake. I don't know if I'd eat snake or not. Alligator, I'll smash, but I've never found a fish that I don't like or anything. People are like, I don't like carp, man. Smoked carp. Shit, get out of here. I don't even know if you know what carp is. You probably got some nickname for it.
We got some carp, man. You said smoked fish. The only smoked fish I ever had was garfish.
Oh yeah, I've had smoked gar, smoked sturgeon. I love smoked sturgeon.
Good.
Yeah, man. We smoke a lot of fish up here. It's pretty good stuff.
That's cool, man. That's something that's kind of like different traditions, basically down here. If you ain't frying it, what else you doing with it?
Yeah, you're grilling it or frying it down there.
Yeah.
So,
but another thing we got down here this time of year is it's when it's real foggy, December, January, we go pick these mushrooms off willow trees. We call them champignons.
Champignons.
And it's basically like an oyster mushroom.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I've had oysters.
And oh man, you talk about like real tender.
Yeah.
Clean them up real good. You can put them in your stews, or you can fry them. You fry them, they taste like you wouldn't even think you're eating a mushroom. You think you're eating like a fish or something like that.
Something meaty, Yeah.
Yeah, something meaty. Yeah. It's just real good.
Yeah, we got morels and hen of the woods, and we got some oyster mushrooms here. I'm a big mushroom hunter. I eat the shit out of them. I still got some frozen in my freezer from last year, and I'm ready for this year. I'm running low, so
that's good.
You freeze them and cook them. It ain't the same, man. You need that fresh off the ground, just out there.
Yes.
Put the work in to get them. It's normally about 70, 80 degrees when we're mushroom hunting, though. You're sweating your balls off. There's mosquitoes everywhere. You're used to mosquitoes. You're like, shit, these guys.
Yeah, man. Early bow season, this year I made a few bow hunts and never shot a buck with my bow yet. Kill a bunch of does. I had a little spot. I hung my saddle up and just the mosquitoes were horrible, man. It was just never remembered being this bad. And I guess the older I get, I seem to get so bad, but losing my memory and stuff. But
yeah,
but yeah, man, I had a spike come in that hunt, and I almost took it. I almost decided to take it. Really don't don't get that opportunity to shoot a buck with a bow too much. I mean, me not shooting one at all. So I was going to take it. It was a big cow horn spike, and he busted me out of there. I never really got a good shot at him. But
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine. So you're hunting the swamp. There's not really a lot of trails because you're in water. You know what I mean? And
basically,
the deer
yeah.
can just browse pretty much wherever they want. They're not going through a pinch. You got a
No,
destination you're
that's the
going
thing.
to, but they're getting there at night, so you're just like hunting in an area where they're at, and to get them into bow range that's an epic feat in my mind when you got
Oh yeah.
7,000
That's why I kind of
acres.
like I like a low water season. You really could see where these deer are passing. You know, you can see their mud trails, basically in the swamp. It's a little easier to track.
Yeah.
Set your stand up or whatnot. But high water season, you don't know where they're passing. You don't know. I mean, you're relying on the game camera.
backstroking.
Yeah, basically, yeah, man.
So, say you shoot a doe. I got like kind of a two-part question here. So you shoot a doe. Like, is there any tip or anything that you can share that you do to help you track where this deer went if there is high water?
The only if there's high water, basically in the swamp I'm hunting, there's a lot of duck seed, a lot of like that grass. It's a light green grass that kind of connects together, splits apart. Call it duck seed. I found specks of blood on that before, and it led me to where it's at. But if it's a lot of water, basically I would, all that waiting time, I don't know, the more you wait, the less a chance you probably have of finding that deer. I would definitely, if you think you put a decent shot on it, get down and kind of regroup and see where it might have went for sure.
Yeah, I could see that being huge,
Yeah.
because you got, I mean, hell, a deer could run through that water and splash shit up all over the place, and then you lost all your blood, even if it's up high. So you'd have to track pretty much immediately to have any fresh sign of where the water, the moss was turned out, or any mud on a tree or anything.
I've lost one doe back there. I shot it high in that kind of no man's land, right above the backstrap, or right below the backstrap.
Yeah.
Kind of in the vitals, and tracked it for a good ways in there, and ended up jumping it up, and kind of backed after I jumped it up. I kind of backed out and regrouped, waited a while, tried to go back in there and never could find it. But then I got her back on camera like 2 days later. She ended up making it.
Nice. Yeah. I've hit that no man's land before and had them make it. So
yeah,
it's a very.
But it was the same situation. Had high water. Basically, I was going off a little specs. I mean, it's definitely good to have a hunting partner or someone you could call to give you a hand.
I couldn't imagine being back there at night. Do you imagine that?
Oh, man.
Everything looked the same.
Oh, my God. There ain't nothing that looks different. You just have to know what direction. You got cell phone service back there?
We do have cell phone service.
Nice, man. That's the only way I can make it out of that. I'd be like, all right, Hunt Stand, help me out. Where the hell am I at? So.
But, yeah, there's a few of us that bow hunt back there. Mostly we do like a couple buddies of mine. They'll go on some little public land trips to actually y'all stayed up there to go to Illinois and do a couple other trips. But we do have a few guys that bow hunt the swamp.
Nice. Yeah. That's
and
pretty
then
cool,
like
man.
mostly during the earlier season, the oaks are dropping, so it's a little easier to get on. If you want to get your opportunity on a doe or something like that, or typically early season, man, you're not gonna see these big bucks back there on the Oak Ridge. They're gonna be hanging out kind of off the Oak Ridge in the swamp. They just, for some reason, man, they're not coming in. It's gonna have to take a hot doe to bring them in there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I could see, man. I can't relate to it. I don't know. I mean, how much is a deer population good there? Or
I'm gonna tell you, we got hit by we got the blue tongue down here. We got hit pretty hard with it after a big storm that passed through, and just our deer numbers dropped, man. We're finding dead deer left and right. I actually pulled out a little fawn. We found on the levee. I pulled it out. The biologist came to my house, cut the couple things out, like the lungs or whatnot, and sent it off for testing. But he said definitely it was blue tongue. And after that, man, we took a hit. We didn't shoot does for I think about 3 years after that. We kind of let them rest up. Yeah, we made that decision on our own as a club not to.
Yeah, that was smart, man.
Shoot them,
yeah,
yeah, and it came back, man. We've seen a lot of deer. We just
it looks like you guys shot quite a few bucks, from your Instagram.
Oh yeah, man. We between the area we're hunting with the clubs, we're killing some nice deer. We're killing some nicer deer back there for sure.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us, man, and teaching us a little bit about the swamp and a couple of Illinois boys that don't know anything,
cool,
but it's super cool to have you on, man.
No problem, man. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. I was trying to keep the story straight here, but pretty cool. Hey, when you asked me to be on a podcast, I was like, man, I never been on a podcast before. And I told the wife, I was like, man, kind of asked me to be on a podcast. It's pretty cool,
Yeah, we try to find the different people that, might not have a shot to tell their story, but a story that deserves to be told and something cool and unique that you're doing. And most podcasts wouldn't even look at you because you're not a famous person and you're not going to get that clickbait. But us, we just want to talk to you to talk to you. You know what I mean? And we use the podcast as just an outlet to be like, hey, man, what are you doing down there in Louisiana? Because it's pretty badass. So
that's awesome, man. That's why I post some stories. I just want people to kind of see how we doing things down here, and it's just so much fun,
Yeah, it is. For people down there in Louisiana that see it, they might not be like, oh, that's just normal. But for me, I'm like, this shit is crazy. I'm going through the story like, man, this dude is in this little ass canoe. He's dragging this buck a mile. Like, I'm like, this is cool. But so,
hell yeah, man.
All right, we got the heater ripping in the studio. It's a couple inches of snow. And it's cold in Illinois, and not cold in this episode at all.
No.
Down there hunting the rut in 70, 80-degree weather with mosquitoes that could probably carry me away. So I really enjoyed this episode. This guy's getting out there and getting it done. We wanted to have him on just to say, hey, man, no matter where you live, you can get out there and enjoy the outdoors somehow. This guy's putting a lot of work in the swamps, and that's how he likes to do it. I would like to go down there and ride around with him, but I really don't want to kill anything.
You don't want to kill an 80-incher? Come on.
I mean, it's just too much work, man. I just want to go down there and hang out with him.
That.
I just want to go down there and hang out with him and help
the
him
P-Rog would have to be right there at the base of the tree with me.
P-Rog on my back. I was have to carry a P-Rog around with me and roll out. But get out there, leave a legacy. Whitetail Legacy's out.